Okay, this is my mid-October book haul. There are lots of interesting books. There's a mixture of fiction and non-fiction. Let's start with Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter, published by Faber and Faber. Do notice the definite article, Grief is the Thing with Feathers, not a thing with feathers. I'm not sure whether that is from Ted Hughes, but with the crow on the front and the fact that the poem before the novel starts is an Emily Dickinson poem where the abstract nouns have been crossed out and crow has been placed in there. This has a lot of promise, it seems to me, so I'm really looking forward to it. So don't let me down, Max Porter. Just to go from grief, we now go on to Notes on Suicide by Simon Critchley, published by Fitzcarraldo Editions. Simon Critchley is a British professor who works at the New School in New York. He writes on many things, Wallace Stevens, Heidegger, Hamlet, continental philosophy. This is a very short essay on the kind of societal and religious prohibitions on suicide and how we need to kind of escape those prescriptions if we're to really understand the single greatest act of freedom we might possibly take, which is obviously killing ourselves. So a fun read for a rainy afternoon. Then we have Spill, Simmer, Falter, Wither by Sarah Baum. I know nothing about this apart from the writer of A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing, calls it unbearably poignant and beautifully told, so that's enough for me. Then we have some more non-fiction, Inventing the Individual by Larry Siedentop, The Origins of Western Liberalism. I'll just leave that. It'll be great. Pond by Sarah Louise Bennett. This is also published by Fitzcarraldo Editions. Fitzcarraldo Editions have a literary magazine called The White Review. They had a short story competition. She won, and this is her first book of stories. Then we have 10 Seconds from the Sun by, I think is pronounced Russell Hrecklin Jones. And it's, I have to say, I don't like the cover and I don't like the title, but it's apparently breathtakingly visceral, menacing and deeply uncomfortable, ferociously powerful. They're all good recommendations. And I'm always up for finding a psychological thriller, whatever that means these days, that actually convinces. So I hope that is the case. We then have a very large book, which is the key works or key writings of Honorary Burks, who was a continental philosopher, turn of the century, who wrote a lot about time and consciousness and was a big influence on turn of the century philosophers and writers, including William James, A.N. Whitehead, two favourites of mine, but also Wallace Stevens, Willa Cather, and Maurice Merleau-Ponty. An important philosopher that I haven't read yet, and I look forward to that. And finally, I remember reading about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a list of the most annoying things in life. And one, I think it was number 5, was Sting writes a novel and it's really good. And I agree, that would be very, very annoying. Sting hasn't written a novel, but Morrissey has. I think a lot of people are predisposed to find it pretentious. I remember I saw the Smiths the first time they played Top of the Pops, and I bought this charming man the day after, and the Smiths have given me great pleasure and great joy over the years. I'm slightly more ambivalent about Morrissey. He does say some foolish things, but I think I'm predisposed to find the best in this novel, and I simply can't believe that someone of his talent and scrupulousness would let something be published that was all bad. I have no idea, but I shall certainly blog on this. So there you go. Morrissey, Henry Birdson, Russell Jones. I apologise if that's wrong. Pond by Sarah Louise Bennett. Inventing the Individual, the Orange of Western Liberalism. Spill, Simmer, Falter, Wither by Sarah Barn. Notes on Suicide by Professor Simon Critchley. And Grief is the Thing with Feathers, Max Porter. Many thanks.